What's going on, my people? And we back with another video, and man, we about to watch some guy. They trying to say he killed a lot of people in 3 days, man. Let's see what's going on, man. This is Birmingham, Alabama, man. Some people put something in a caption and the title, and they got construed. If my lips kind of glossy, y'all, it's just because of the lighting and put some stuff on my lips. I'm sorry.
I mean, things must be pretty bad once the mayor got to put up $100,000 for information involving a mass shooting.
Well, today, Crime Stoppers actually offered a $50,000 reward. That is twice as much as their previous high, which was $25,000. A $50,000 reward. That is twice as much as their previous high, which was $25,000 in the Cupcake McKinney case a few years ago, for tips that would lead to an arrest in this case. In fact, on top of that, the FBI is matching that offer, offering an additional $50,000 for a tip that would lead to an arrest and a conviction in the case. So right now, Lisa, there are $100,000 out there for anyone that's willing to come forward and actually make Birmingham streets safer.
But it seemed like that reward may have paid off. Within the last 24 hours of me making this video, a 22-year-old Fairfield man is behind bars, accused of killing 6 people in Birmingham in 72 hours, including 4 people in the mass shooting that we Birmingham in 72 hours. Behind bars, accused of killing 6 people in Birmingham in 72 hours, including 4 people in the mass shooting that we previously covered last week outside a Hush Lounge in 5 Points South. Some people already identifying that man as a Sir UK, but it get deeper. The Hush shooting arrest revealed tragic links in 11 homicides in Birmingham, Alabama. Murder after murder, and one of the most deadliest war dating back, according to the indictment, 2017. As we all know, fam, revenge don't have a date on it. Today we go over each story, go in chronological order, or trying my best to keep you guys on track. But before we run down on this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. 13 dead in 7 years. Witnesses, firefighters, even the perpetrators going as far as walking into fire stations, killing the intended target.
Get the heck out of here. He wasn't no serial killer. This was a demon. This was a demon.
Over a year, that case went unsolved until the arrest in the September mass shooting in Birmingham 5 Points South reveals a target web linking 4 people shot to death outside a Hush Lounge to 7 other homicides over the past 8 years. Fam, meet Damian McDaniel III, just 22 years old, charged with capital M in the September mass shooting. Birmingham police had made an announcement this Wednesday. McDaniel was also charged in 2 other homicides, one just 2 days before the mass shooting, and another the following night. He went on a killing spree in 72 hours. Now, when that shooting that happened the night after Hush Lounge mass shooting, one of the 3 suspects was acquitted of a homicide in 2021. Now, apparently, in Alabama, they got a thing where the men let their girls fight while they brandish firearms in the public for everyone to see. Now, the 2021 incident was no different. May 2nd, 2021, the Birmingham Police Department were called to the 1100 block of 20th Street South. At around 12:30 a.m., they found the man laying in the middle of the roadway, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. Apparently, 2 females was fighting. His girlfriend was one of the females that was fighting. After trying to break it up, he was shot once by the dude who was talking to the other female. The victim was identified as 27-year-old Eric Sledge Jr. He was taken to UAB Hospital, where he later died. May he rest in peace, and love and condolences to his family. Now here's where things get tricky, fam. A lot of people saw the fight, and saw Eric take his last breath, but only one person had agreed to testify, mainly because that was his friend, and also, in part, he was a firefighter, and as a city worker, he felt compelled to do so. His name was Jordan Melton, 29 years old. On July 12, 2023, Melton was gunned down in a targeting shooting at Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service Station 9.
Wow. Dang, boy. Just from being a good friend and being regular citizen working for his town, he get killed.
He was set to testify in his friend Eric homicide. No one was charged in Melton's demise at the time. Also there and was shot Jamal Jones, who has since been promoted to rank of sergeant. On that July morning, Melton and Jones were shot just before 8:30 a.m. that Wednesday after they began their shift. They were performing routine maintenance in the station's bay area when a gunman entered through the open bay door and opened fire in what police say was a targeted attack. Birmingham police and Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service were called to the station at 1228 27th Street North, where the firefighters had reportedly been shot in the chest and leg. At least one caller reported hearing shots and ran to take cover in the bathroom. Now, the open bay door that the shooter entered typically remains open to be accessible to residents who need their blood pressure checked or other help or information. Station 9 remained closed until December of 2023. Till this day, this case is unsolved.
We've been following for a year now, the murder of Birmingham firefighter Jordan Melton. WVTN 13's Lisa Crane is live in the Norwood neighborhood where Melton was working when someone gunned him down.
Lisa, there have been no arrests, but police say there is a person of interest.
Yeah, that's right. And while they are not releasing that person's name, it's the same person of interest police have been talking about for several months now. Now, that shooting happened right here at Fire Station number 9 1 year ago. A gunman walked right through those bay doors that were open at the time and shot 2 firefighters in what police say was a targeted attack.
That just wasn't an attack on Jordan and Jamal. Whoever did this, they attacked the entire foundation that holds our city together. And you better believe we're going to deploy all resources. We're going to tap into all partnerships, and we're going to do everything we can to hold those responsible.
365 days ago, a gunman shot 29-year-old Jordan Melton and fellow firefighter Jamal Jones. Melton would succumb to his injuries 5 days later. Police say Jones suffered life-altering physical and emotional injuries. Police say they're as frustrated as anyone that the case remains unsolved.
If we had all the evidence, if we had everything we wanted, we would have someone in custody. But what we want to remind the public is this case is not just about making an arrest. We want a conviction.
Officer Fitzgerald says someone out there has the information they need to convict Jordan Melton's killer. He's pleading for anyone with information to come forward.
There is no way that someone entered a fire station in broad daylight, shot 2 on-duty firefighters, killed 1, a year later has evaded capture from the largest police department in Alabama, and has not bragged about that to someone.
Right.
Now, police say that while they do believe this was a targeted attack, they don't believe it had anything to
Brag. Man, he better keep that shut. And I'm sorry I'm picking my lip, y'all.
with the fact that these 2 men were firefighters. Now, in the year since her son's death, Rochelle Gaston Malone has tried to make sense of why someone would kill this dedicated public service person. Now, while she still mourns Jordan, she has turned her pain into purpose by teaching others about the toll gun violence puts on a family and teaching them the importance of peaceful conflict resolution. There was another victim in this shooting. That was Melton's fellow firefighter and friend, Jamal Jones. Now, Jones spent weeks in the hospital after being shot that morning. He was released on August 8th of last year, but the emotional scars from that day still linger. 2 days after his release, Fire Chief Corey Moon promoted Jones to sergeant.
As far as Eric Friend, who died 2 years prior to him, his case remained unsolved as well. The alleged perpetrator, Naquan Corday Lawler, 22 years old, nicknamed Petey, who was also known to be a close friend to White Boy Spin, who was a rapper from Birmingham who lost his life in gruesome fashion, who we also covered. May he rest in peace. Now at this point, I know you like, fam, how do we know this? Now we go back to the mass shooting just last month in September in front of Hush Lounge. There was 4 people who was arrested and charged for that mass shooting. Naquan Lawler, 22 years old, aka Petey. Larry Rollins Jr., 31 years old. DeMarco Beck Jr., 29 years old, alongside McDaniel, who we just mentioned, according to authorities, have 6 bodies in 72 hours.
Dang.
Now, before we elaborate on the suspects, fam, I want to point out something. 2 of the men and 1 of the females who lost their life at the Hush Lounge mass shooting is from Inslee. on the west side of Birmingham. And the two men from there who lost their life in the mass shooting, both were charged in previous homicides. One victim of the mass shooting was acquitted in the 2016 shooting death of a 15-year-old boy, who, according to police, was killed in retaliation for another shooting in 2015. Another victim saw his murder charge in the 2021 shooting of a 20-year-old dismissed a year later. And as mentioned, the female victim of Hush Lounge, as we mentioned in the previous video, lost the father of her daughter to a still unsolved homicide in 2022.
Wow.
Still haven't found the gunman behind a mass shooting in Birmingham Saturday night. 4 people were killed and 17 more injured. Police are now offering a $100,000 reward. Christian Benavides spoke with the mother of one of those victims.
She had a life ahead of her. She had a mom who loved her dearly. That was my best little friend.
Candace Kemp's 21-year-old daughter, Anitra Holloman, was one of the 4 people killed Saturday night outside the Hush Lounge in Birmingham's popular 5 Point South district. Officials believe the shooters were targeting at least one individual waiting in line outside the nightclub.
He took somebody that I really, really loved.
Anitra's mom says her daughter was an innocent bystander, needlessly gunned down.
That is sad, bro.
My baby didn't deserve that.
Police say they're investigating whether any of the suspects were armed with a so-called Glock switch, which can turn a semi-automatic weapon into a fully automatic one.
And that is sad, y'all. That is so sad. This is a sad...
Birmingham's mayor says these federally banned devices are a growing menace in his community.
If you have lax gun laws or no gun laws, you put this hand behind my back. If you put us in a situation where gun switches are easily accessible, and you put this hand behind my back.
Another recent victim of gun violence in Birmingham, Anitra's former partner and the father of their 1-year-old daughter, Skylar. Skylar is now forced to grow up without both of her parents.
Dang.
I just wonder how you come to terms with something like that.
How do you?
There's only one person I knew grew up with both parents dying, and he was living with his grandma. There's only one person I knew grew up like that. Mass majority. No, not mass majority. I don't know a lot, but majority of people I know that don't have a father. Not really so the mother. They don't have a father, but both. That's a heavy hitter.
I just know that I am going to be the best grandmother that I can be to my Skylar, and I'm going to protect her very, very closely.
I bet so.
Anitra's mother told me that her daughter wasn't able to go out with friends as much as other 21-year-olds because she would often stay home to take care of her baby. She was also a college student studying to be a teacher, so this was a rare night out for Anitra that ended her life. Her partner's killing remains unsolved.
I heard people say it like that, yo. I mean, it's the truth, but you know how many people want to stay in the house, yo? That many people want to just stay in the house. I am so sorry I'm shaking my lips so much, y'all. It's just... Oh, my God.
Now, fam, these are the victims in their cases. DeAndre Tanae Brown, 35 years old, September 19, 2024. Brown was said to be an innocent bystander, killed in a shooting inside 604 Bar and Lounge on 9th Street North. A vigil was held for Brown the same night as the vigil for the 21-year-old Andrea Holloman was killed in a 5 Point South mass shooting. Both vigils was held in the Railroad Park and both honored young mothers lost to gun violence.
Today, because another one of our children had been killed in the streets of Birmingham, Alabama.
The first body in McDaniel's 72-hour spree made Brown rest in peace and love and condolences to her family. September 22, 2024, Jamarcus Minktree died in the hail of gunfire on the 700 block of 81st Place South the night after the 5 Points mass shooting. Naquan, Larry, DeMarcio were charged along McDaniel with capital murder, and Jamarcus...
Yo, did these guys even start to get something to eat? Yo, they killed all these people within 72 hours? What is that? It was like 3 days? 72 hours? I don't know.
May he rest in peace and love and condolences to his family. So that's two, fam. The first before the mass shooting and the last but after the mass shooting. But then we go to the mass shooting, the hush victims, and their ties to other murders.
3 days.
Carlos McCain, 27. Rodriguez Lynn Patterson Jr., 26. Holloman, 21. And Taj Booker, 27. Died in the September 21st mass shooting that left 17 others wounded. Carlos McCain, 27, was acquitted of a murder and attempt murder in 2017 and a June 4th, 2016 shooting death of a 15-year-old minor high school student, Kelvin Julius. May he rest in peace and love and condolences to his family. Police say he was killed in retaliation for another shooting in 2015. A second suspect pled guilty and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Kelvin was shot around 2:45 a.m. that Saturday morning in the 200 block of 12th Street South and was pronounced deceased on the scene. A young woman also shot in the incident and survived her injuries. Kelvin was involved in a shooting during the summer of 2015, where the cousin of one of the suspected shooters was the intended target. Police said when a suspect spotted Kelvin that morning, he then shot him in retaliation for the previous incident, according to police. Kelvin's family said he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it wasn't clear who was shot and how badly they were injured in the 2015 incident that police say led to Kevin's demise. Now, another one of the victims from the Hush Lounge mass shooting was Patterson Jr. He was previously charged with murder in June 28th, 2021 in the
Hold on now. This sounds like some get back. I'm sorry, I'm just catching on if it is. I'm just catching on if it is. Sounds like some get back.
of 20-year-old.
Or is it just inconvenient? Let's see.
Terrius Jackson, who was gunned down at the gas pump at the Chevron on 1st Ave North. In 2022, the murder charge against Patterson Jr. was dismissed at the request of prosecution, citing, quote, death, unavailability, and non-cooperation of witness, end quote. Jackson was shot in the face at 10:30 p.m. that Monday at the Chevron at 8730th 1st Ave North and died the next day at UAB Hospital. The other two men was Carlos McCain, 27 years old, and Taj Booker. May they both rest in peace. And of course, the female who we briefly talked about, Andrea Holloman. May she rest in peace and love and condolences to her family. Her longtime sweetheart and father of her daughter, Demetrius Stillman Jr., was found shot to death on October 11, 2022. He was found unresponsive inside a vehicle on the 1100 block of Penfield Drive, which is near Zion City Road. He was pronounced dead on the scene at 1:50 a.m. May he rest in peace and love and condolences to his family. And as mentioned, his case is still unsolved.
Everyone, I am Sergeant Laquita Wade, Public Information Officer with the Birmingham Police Department's Public Information Division, and we would like to thank you all for being here today. Police Chief Scott Thurman will discuss major updates in multiple homicide investigations. Once Chief is complete, we will have a few questions and answers. Everyone, please limit your questions to the investigations that we will discuss on today. Thank you. Chief Thurman.
So good afternoon. So I want to discuss, as Sergeant Wade said, several updates on several recent homicides, but I'll be very candid up front. There'll be very limited information on what I'm able to give on some of these investigations. So these will be in chronological order. Our first arrest was of Damian McDaniel, black male, 22 years of age. He is charged with murder with no bond in the murder of Detrinette Brown. That murder occurred on Thursday, September 19th, 2024 at 604 9th Street North. McDaniel is also charged with capital murder and 17 counts of attempted murder in the mass shooting that occurred on Saturday, September 21st, 2024 in the 2000 block of Magnolia Avenue in the 5 Point South Entertainment District. These charges have no bond. On September 22nd, 2024, a homicide occurred at 775 81st Place South, which resulted in the death of Jamarcus McIntyre. The following suspects have been charged in his arrest. Damian McDaniel, black male, 22 years of age, is charged with capital murder and 3 counts of attempted murder in this case with no bond. Naquan Lawler, black male, 22 years of age, is charged with capital murder and 3 counts of attempted murder with no bond in this case. Larry Rollins Jr., black male, 31 years of age, is charged with capital murder and trafficking heroin with no bond.
Dang.
And DeMarco Beck, black male, 29 years of age, is charged with capital murder with no bond. I would like to thank the following law enforcement agents who assisted the Birmingham Police Department: the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the United States Secret Service, the United States Marshal Service, the United States U.S. Attorney's Office, the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, and the members of the Birmingham Police Department. But more importantly, I'd like to thank the men and women from all of these agencies who have worked tirelessly to bring these charges against these suspects. You have given this investigation all you have, day and night, and I'm extremely grateful. Thank you. Yes, Carol.
Can you tell us how all of these homicides are linked?
Well, you have a common suspect for one thing that's charged in all 3, which is Damian McDaniel. And
Can you tell us what the motive is?
I can't get into that. These cases have, as you've seen, have taken over 3.5 weeks to get to this point. There is a tremendous amount of man and woman power that were put into these investigations, and this is just one step in moving forward. There's a lot more to come in these investigations as we prepare for court and other things, and so we need to ensure the integrity of these cases.
In any of these cases that you just mentioned, do you believe that there's any more suspects possible for any of those, and how crucial was it, if at all, the amount of tips that came in from the public?
We received over 300 tips between Crime Stoppers and our QR code. They were extremely helpful. As I said, the investigations are ongoing. We don't know if there's any other suspects at this point in time.
Are y'all looking at a federal RICO case?
Not at this point in time.
In the 604 Lounge killing, was Miss Brown an innocent bystander, or was she the targeted victim?
It appears she was an innocent bystander.
Just talk about the magnitude of this case and the number of killings involving the number of people, suspects and victims in a 72-hour period.
Well, it's tremendous. I mean, we've got six people who lost their life, not to mention 17 people who were injured in the mass shooting in 5 Points South Entertainment District. It's tremendous for our community, for our city, for our business owners, for our law enforcement. I mean, the number of hours that have been put into this investigation is astronomical. But I really applaud the men and women who stepped up to the plate to get it done. I mean, they've worked day and night for 3.5 weeks. So it's just tremendous. And I'm just very thankful that we're able to get to this resolution today. That we're able to assure the community that the Birmingham Police Department and all of our law enforcement partners are going to continue to work together to bring safety to the city of Birmingham.
Can you highlight to the community?
But there you have it, fam. When we say revenge don't have a date on it, this is what we mean. Police talking about cases in 2015, drawing a connection in 2024. When you make a decision to take somebody's life, that's what come with it. Watching your back every day and night. And the moment you don't, you might be taking your last breath. And even if you're not in it, if you're around somebody that's doing it, unfortunately, you just as guilty.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate situation. We send 11 prayers to every victim that we talked about in this story.
Yeah, man. Look, so I was right. It was a get back. It was get back. It didn't catch me yet. I'm sorry, it didn't catch me back. But, dang, man. See? That's what I tell you, man. All this killing and doing all this other stuff, it ain't gonna never stop, man. This ain't gonna never stop, man. It's just how it is, like, somebody kills somebody, they get back. They just keep flowing, and then when they get back, that's somebody after them. They homeboys after them now. They just going back and forth, and it ain't gonna never stop because too many people losing people that they love and pride jumping their way, and they do silly stuff. And some people just be out there doing silly stuff for stripes. Sorry that I picked my lip the whole entire video. But this video, I reacted to it. But we also looked at something. I hope y'all didn't just sit up there and watch me pick my lip the whole thing. But I'm gone.